On this episode of My Take, Rosh Ya'acob Ben Abraham will explore breaking news that has happened within the community that may have been hidden from you by mainstream media. Or things that are brought by the mainstream media, but adding a Torah aspect for the upliftment of our people. Tonight's program will focus on the inauguration of President-elect Trump being held on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday observance.
The inauguration is falling on MLK Day. This is why I also feel like the election, something was funny and fishy about it. I'm going to say it today. Fishy funny because to have Kamala Harris sworn in on Martin Luther King Day by Ketanji Brown Jackson was the storyline.
Yeah.
It was supposed to happen. Now we have this thing sworn in on Martin Luther King Day, and I'm struggling with what she's saying, which is to tune in.
Dr. King's daughter, Sister Bernice King, has some powerful words for us that Rosh Ya'acob will focus on. So, please join us as Rosh Ya'acob speaks on how our ancestors dealt with being behind enemy lines and how we should conduct ourselves during this era.
Check. Oh, here we go. Woo! That joint was fighting me. Hallelujah. I'm like, we on time tonight, and then the mic don't want to work. Ain't that some bull? How we gonna be on time and the mic don't want to work? I like that don't even make no kind of sense at all. To be on time and the mic don't want to work. It's saying it's working right here, but then it's not working right here. Okay, whatever. We good. All right, so back. Sorry about that, guys. It seems like the adversary always got something. If it ain't one thing, it's something else. My mic has always worked. Got it today that it was going to stop working. But I was on time. You know what I mean? All right. Anyway, welcome to another episode of My Take with Rosh Ya'acob. I am Rosh Ya'acob ben Abraham, Rabbi of Gethsemane Spiritual Temple Congregation. On this channel, we deal with subjects that are in the headlines, subjects that are going on. Several things happen several days. Mondays are normally breaking news, so it's different news events that's going on in the community that I feel is important. Wednesdays is questions and answers, where I deal with answering questions from different people within the community, or different questions that you all might send me. Y'all might send me videos or something like that. So I'll go ahead and I'll try to answer those questions for those things. And on Thursdays is rules of engagement, where we deal with relationship things. So it might be different questions or stuff y'all send about relationships or something like that. So I'll deal with those on those days. And of course, Friday is Torah Portion Friday. And I'm revamping Torah Portion Friday. So it's going to be new and exciting this Friday, because I want to try to hype it up for you guys to be excited about the Torah. I don't want y'all to be so excited about all these other days. Then when it comes time to be excited about the Torah, it's just like, oh yeah, the Torah. So I said I gotta find a way to make it exciting. So we're going to drive all those things through. So that's basically what happens. All right, so got a nice show for you today. A lot of things going on in our breaking news, as you've seen from the intro. So we're going to get into some things dealing with this inauguration and dealing with Martin Luther King's observance of his birthday, which is today. Of course, his birthday was last week, but they observe his birthday on the Monday after his birthday, which, okay, that's how they do it. So that's where we're at. All right, so a lot of things to talk about. I don't know if you guys seen the inauguration, but we're going to touch on some things. Oh, we're going to touch on some things tonight. So I see why the adversary tried to mute the mic, but I was looking at the channel, at the different channel levels, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not moving. That means my mic is not on, but I'm looking at my mic and I know it's on. So I don't know if it came from me using the other software or not. But let me get out of that, because I normally it go on and on and on. All right. So before we get started with any of those things, just want to say, if you are watching and you're new to this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. This is not... This is a way for us to get our numbers up so we can get the word out there. The more YouTube sees that you like it, or you're sharing it, or you're watching it, the more that they think other people might want to see it, and they'll put it out there, and we can get this Torah train spreading. I'm trying to spread Torah knowledge to our people so we can start focusing and thinking the way that we need to focus and think. All right, so that's that. Also, just want to let you guys know that if you're seeing the gear that I have on, all this gear has been brought to us by our sponsor. The sponsor to my take with Rosh Ya'acob, and that sponsor is the AOC, which stands for the Art of Clothing, and this is their commercial. So please, 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 I put all that stuff in the description. So please support black business. Also got different black business that jump on here with me from time to time. Like our brother, the next session that's on here. He does all kind of videography and editing and all that kind of stuff. So if you need any kind of work like that, you can check out his channel. You should see him in the comments. He's on there a lot, communicating. So all you have to do is just click on his link and it'll take you straight to his channel. You can see all the great things that he's doing over there. So please support your black businesses. All right. So let's get into this with our breaking news. All right, shalom. So, one of our biggest breaking news stories that I want us to see was this right here. So you'll notice it says, sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the U.S. Unfortunately, that means you cannot use TikTok for now. But look at what it says. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated, hey, shalom, shalom, my key. It says, we are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he has taken office. Please stay tuned. So if y'all was like me, many of y'all seen this on your devices on Sunday. You went to click on your device yesterday to go to TikTok early in the morning and this popped up. And you was like, wow. First thing I said is, wow, they lied. They said, we still gonna be able to use it. You just can't update it, this, that, other. I said, no, this is what he said, you can't use it at all. I said, wow. And I can see in the background, it was little stuff moving for the TikTok. And it's like, you couldn't do nothing but close the app. That was it. You had to click close the app. And I opened it up again thinking it was going to slide past, and it still wouldn't let me do anything. So I was like, wow. But I noticed what it said. It said, we are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution. So then I was looking at it later, and later that day, something else popped up. And I screenshot it because I said, look at this right here. Watch this. Welcome back. So then I said, oh, shoot. I don't say, welcome back, right? Thanks for your patience and support. As a result of President Trump's efforts, TikTok is back in the U.S. I'm like, what? And then it says, you can continue to create, share, and discover all the things you love on TikTok. Continue. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So it's like they giving Trump the praise for saving TikTok. And then I said, okay, well, TikTok doing it. Well, let's see, does Trump do that as well? And then I see that Trump does it as well. Watch this. Watch Trump. President Trump. Watch this.
And as of today, TikTok is back.
Now, that was yesterday. He said, as of today, and it's not today, inauguration. This is yesterday. As of today, TikTok is back. So once he said that, that's probably when they clicked it back on. And then people was able to see that TikTok was back. And who saved TikTok but President Trump? How you guys feel about that? Y'all love him now that he saved TikTok? Hey, he saved TikTok, everybody. He said, shaking my head. He saved it. Well, I said, I'm going to let him down. I'm going to let him cook. I'm going to let him cook. I'm going to rewind it back. I'm going to let him cook. Watch this.
And as of today, TikTok is back.
It's back, baby.
So, you know, I did a little TikTok thing. We have a guy, TikTok Jack. He's a young kid, like 21 years old. And we hired this guy, and I went on TikTok. Can you believe what I'll do to win an election? And we went on TikTok, and Republicans have never won the young vote, the youth vote. They win a lot of votes, but they never won the youth vote. We won the youth vote.
I agree with you, Aki. All praises to the Most High.
So I like TikTok.
So look what he said. So he likes TikTok because he hired a young guy that knew how to work TikTok. And this guy put ads up for him on TikTok. And that gained him a lot of the young vote that he wouldn't have had. Because, you know, on the other sites, you know, young people don't mess with those other sites. Like, young people don't mess with Facebook. They say Facebook is for old people. They don't mess with Facebook at all. They said Facebook is for old people. They mess with X or Twitter a little bit. They on Instagram, so IG, so they be on IG or Instagram and TikTok. That's their things. And then YouTube or what have you, right? But you know, but like he said, in order for him to reach the young vote, he got some guys together. They said, hey, you get on TikTok, it'll get you the young vote. And he got on TikTok, and the guy put together clips to show what he stood for. And the young people, you know, they must got him the young vote. And boom, there it is. So TikTok is back.
I like it.
He like it.
Slightly good experience, wouldn't you say? Romney lost it by 40 points. Not so long ago, we won it by 36 points. That's a very big spread. But I said we need to save TikTok because we're talking about a tremendous... Who in this audience goes with TikTok? Many? Yeah, very popular. And frankly, we have no choice. We have to save it. A lot of jobs. We don't want to give our business to China. We don't want to give our business to other people. And I said, you know, TikTok without my approval, meaning the president's approval, because Congress gave the president the right to make a deal, do whatever he wants. And they did that a long time ago when they had a different president. They didn't know that I was going to be the president, I guess. So I said very simply.
Wow. See how he do shots? He's still throwing shots and binding up. He said they gave it to the president to be the one to decide whether TikTok was going to be good or not. It was he had the last say on it. And he said they did that when they didn't think he was going to be the one that was going to be deciding. And they knew he probably was going to be the one deciding. They probably wouldn't have did it. But oh, wow, they done did it now. That's crazy.
A joint venture. So if TikTok is worth nothing, zero, without an approval. You know, if you don't approve, they're out of business, they're worth nothing. if you do approve, they're worth like $1 trillion. They're worth some crazy number. So I said, I'll approve, but let the United States of America own 50% of TikTok. I'm approving on behalf of the United States. So they'll have a partner, the United States, and they'll have a lot of bidders, and the United States will do what we call a joint venture. And there's no risk. We're not putting up any money. All we're doing is giving them the approval, without which they don't have anything. So, I don't know. It sounds like that works. What do you think? Good? So whether you like TikTok or not, we're going to make a lot of money.
I want to bring in NBC News Now morning anchor Savannah Sellers, who's been following the developments on TikTok today in Savannah. We just
so they're going to say the same thing that I said.
TikTok is back, certainly.
They're going to say the same thing that I said. He said he wants to be worshipped. Hey, if you would have heard that inauguration speech I gave, oh my goodness, Akeem, yeah, you would have been on money with that joint. I don't know. Some brothers and sisters couldn't stomach it. I said, I'm going to watch it just to see what's going to happen. I'm glad I did, because I'm going to show you something else that happened on there. But yeah, he does say certain things like this is going to be the greatest era ever. And he gives off that impression, like you say. But watch, they gonna say the same thing. I say how 1 minute TikTok was like, we done. And then the next minute, I guess they waited right until he said this. And then they clicked the switch and TikTok was back. And all the credit goes to him. All the credit goes to him.
Taking credit for blocking the ban, essentially, or for keeping TikTok around. You were listening to the president-elect's comments. What stuck out to you?
Absolutely, Gabe. Not only is he taking credit, TikTok is happily giving him credit. Most of these notifications that they've been sending out to users when it was going dark, when it was coming back online, are saying, we will be back because of President Trump, and we are back because of President Trump's efforts to save TikTok. What really stuck out to me was getting a little bit more details here on what he's saying about the U.S. owning 50%, specifically the fact that he said we should see a lot of bidders. To me, what that means he is going to say is okay is that ByteDance, the parent company, owns 50% of it, remains involved.
Yeah.
Some type of
that's the whole thing. Like some people, be like, some people be like that. They feel like he come out of but they feel like it's all about him. Like the dude Al said, you know, nobody cares about him, but it is what it is. Yo, doing what he do. He up there. He on the stage. He made it about him. Like, y'all, like you say, a lot of people don't care about him, but he made it about him. That's what he made it about. He said, man, this is about me. This is my time. They tried to shut it down. He put on there saying that he put it up there saying that, you know, he wanted it to make sure that they knew that he was fighting for it. And then I'm telling you, it probably is about 3-4 hours later, it was like, we back. And it's all because of him. So even though people don't care about it being about him, he made it about him. He made it about him.
American owner gets involved, whether that's a company, whether that's an individual. Let me walk you through some of the names that have been thrown around. Elon Musk is something that has been floated. Now, it was floated. Other outlets.
Yeah, I definitely think if anybody is going to be the one that's going to own the other half, if they not going to split it amongst different people, it's definitely going to be Elon. I can see Elon Musk being the one to own half of TikTok. He already owned Twitter. So I could definitely see him being the one in the mix.
Reported this, Bloomberg, the Wall Street Journal, saying that he had spoken with the Chinese government had spoken about Musk potentially taking a stake in it. There's also a billionaire named Frank McCourt. He's paired with Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. A couple options.
Oh yeah, I did hear about the Shark Tank dude too. So that was one thing. Now this is the thing that I'm going to show y'all. This is the part that tripped me out. today from the inauguration. Now, you see this brother right here? Oh, this brother made me so mad. This brother made me so mad. All right, so let me set this up for you. So here you had the Trump was up there and the people came off from praying. So you had a rabbi pray. You had that brother right there that was a black preacher that prayed. And I believe the other guy he might have been a priest. Might have been a Catholic priest. He prayed. So like I said, he had everybody represented except the Muslims. He had Judaism, he had a Protestant, and he had the Catholic. And of course, he didn't have no Muslim. And I'm looking at the thing, and I'm like, okay, so you got these different people praying. So the rabbi prayed, and he said some prayer about Jeremiah. I'm like, okay, he's saying a prayer about Jeremiah. All right. And then after he said the prayer about Jeremiah, I was like, okay, he said this prayer about Jeremiah. And then after he prayed and said the prayer about Jeremiah, that's when the black guy got up to pray. So I'm sitting there listening to him praying. I'm thinking, okay, the brother praying. And I'm just going to let y'all see what the brother did with his prayer. So I started off. He was into it like he was about to hit this prayer, and I'm just gonna let y'all see this.
Let us pray for our 47th president. Heavenly Father, we're so grateful that you gave our 45th and now our 47th president a millimeter miracle. We are grateful that you are the one that have called him for such a time as this.
Now, see how it start off? It's like a prayer. You like, okay, the brother praying. I don't know if he planned to do this. If Trump and them asked him to do this, I think they're going to pan the audience and you're going to see people looking like, what is happening right now? Like, they kind of like, what's happening right now? Because they like, what kind of prayer is this? But I want y'all to see this for yourself.
That America would begin to dream again.
Mm-hmm.
We pray that we would fulfill the true meaning of our creed, that we hold these truths to be self-evident.
Do y'all hear it yet? Do you hear it yet, Aki? We hold these truths to be self-evident. Hold on. It started off as a regular prayer, and then it's going to switch to something else. And remember what today is. As you hear this, I want you to remember what today is the observance of. All right, keep it moving.
That all men are created equal. We pray that you use our president, that we will live in a nation where we will not be judged by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character. Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, we are so grateful today that you will use our 47th president so we would sing with new meaning, my country, 'tis of thee.
Did you hear it yet? He mixing in a prayer, but he bringing something else out, and soon he gonna get so caught up that the prayer gonna disappear, and you gonna hear exactly what he trying to bring up. I want you to hear it for yourself.
Sweet land of liberty of...
Listen to how he said it to you. Listen to the tone and the texture.
Thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and because America is called to be a great nation, we believe that you will make this come true. So let freedom ring. from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of California.
That's what I'm saying. I can't. I wanted you to hear for yourself. Oh, he is imitating Martin Luther King Jr. Oh my goodness, but you ain't heard nothing yet. I was simultaneously working on some stuff and listening to the prayer at the same time, and I like stopped. Like, wait a minute, is he doing an imitation of Dr. King? He's supposed to be praying. This is Pastor Sewell. I said, Pastor Sewell, you're supposed to be praying. What are you doing? What are you doing right now? You making us look bad. This looks crazy right now. Watch this.
Colorado, let freedom ring from the curvaceous hilltops of California. But God, we're asking you not only that. Let freedom ring from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and every molehill in Mississippi, from every state, every city, every village, and every hamlet. And when we let freedom ring, we will be able to speed up that day where all of your children, black men and white men, Protestant and Catholic, Jew and Gentile, will be able to sing in the meaning of that old Negro spiritual. Free at last.
Free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
If you believe that the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Come on, put your hands together and give your great God great glory.
Yeah, I was like, he had to get the people to catch, because this is from I think this is from NBC Detroit, so they had the camera right on them, so you couldn't see it. But from the program, as I was looking at it earlier, they spanned through the audience, and the people was looking like, is he doing Dr. King? Like people had their heads there with their eyes closed, open their eyes and looking up like, what's happening right now? So it's like he did that part to try to get them back into it, because he knew that they was like, what's happening right now? Like, this doesn't feel right. Like, we supposed to be praying, and it seems like you mimicking Dr. King. It's like almost like making a mockery. I don't know. Maybe he thought he was making a tribute to Dr. King. He probably, since it's Dr. King Observance Day, he want to say a prayer. And I don't know. I didn't like it. I don't know how y'all felt about it. I didn't like it myself. I felt like, man, that was crazy to me. I did not like it. I felt like dude was doing too much. And I was just like, nah. He is doing too much. And I was like, I don't know. I personally didn't like it myself. I don't know how y'all might feel about it, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it myself. So I was just like, that was just crazy to me. But anyway, we're gonna get into our
introducing a new podcast.
We're gonna get into our videos for this. He said he was grandstanding. Oh man, I missed the last part of what you said. My part, Key. But yeah, it was like, I don't know. I was just like thinking to myself, like, what is he doing right now? And it wasn't a lot of black people there. So they kind of looked at crazy, him doing that, knowing what today was about. I was just like, dude, like, are you really doing this right now? You know? I didn't sense the true spirit of prayer, but a buffoonery and coonery. Oh, that's how I felt. I was like, what is happening right now, right? I was like, is this really happening right now? It just felt so crazy to me that this was happening right now. And I just was like, what is going on right now? I was upset. I can laugh about it now, but upset earlier I was mad. I said, I can't believe this fool. I had to find a clip. I said, I gotta put this clip on the show. This was not going to be part of the show. But when I say that, I said, no, I gotta let the people see this. I know some other people will talk about this too. They're gonna be like, did you see that brother imitate Dr. King in a prayer? What was he thinking about? And he was so happy and proud, like, yes. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. It wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good look. All right, so now we're going to get into the sense of what the show is about tonight. Want to deal with this situation. So our sister Karen Hunter, I got her description and stuff in a link, and her link so you can follow her on her station. Oh, you said you tried not to like total sellout, but it didn't work. That looked like, yeah, that like, if he was trying not to be a sellout by doing that, it backfired. Because that looked real cornerish. I agree with what you said earlier. That looked real cornerish. I was just like, dude, like, if he would have just got up there and said a regular prayer, I would have respected him. Everybody got their right, even though I don't believe in the different processes for certain things, but everybody got their right to vote for whoever they want, right? If that's what you want to do, I'm not gonna, tell you this, that, and the other. Because as we're gonna get into tonight's show, you're gonna see why. I'm not gonna tell you this, that, or the other. It's all about making sure that we represent for each other and that we doing what we gotta do for each other and doing stuff to build our people up. That's what it's about. So I said I'm not gonna jump on there and do any of that with people, I know people that voted for him. I know a lot of people that didn't vote for him. So it's people on all sides of the coins. I myself have a certain stance about certain things Hebraically, because my understanding for the Torah is you can't put a foreigner over top of you as a king. That's just my stance from understanding Torah. That's how that is, that you can't do that. So that's how I feel about that situation. Some people might don't. Some people might feel like it's not that, hey, we in America and this is what happened. But we want to look at it tonight and see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and let Karen start us off. And we're going to go from there.
Instagram, Dr. Bernice King, right after the election, I read the 10 things that she suggested last time Trump got elected. And one of them was not say his name, which I just did. I apologize to the universe. Because, when you say a person's name, you give them life. This is why we erect the names of our ancestors, and we say their names. So I get that. That's very spiritual. And then she had a laundry list of other things that we should do to protect our peace. This time around, she is suggesting that we do not tune out of the inauguration. She went to Instagram. The inauguration is falling on MLK Day. This is why I also feel like the election, something was funny and fishy about it. I'm going to say.
All right. So notice what she said. Dr. King's daughter said, don't tune out. the inauguration, because a lot of people was upset because, of course, it happened today during MLK Day, and a lot of people felt like that was disrespectful and that it was wrong for it to take place on today. And his daughter said, nah, make sure y'all tune in and y'all watch the inauguration and y'all hear what he say gonna do and listen, and don't ban it or tune out from it, right? And Karen is about to give her understanding on a take on that.
Today, fishy funny, because to have Kamala Harris sworn in on Martin Luther King Day by Ketanji Brown Jackson was the storyline.
Yeah.
It was supposed to happen. Now we have this thing sworn in on Martin Luther King Day, and I'm struggling with what she's saying, which is to tune in. So here's what she wrote. I certainly understand the desire to.
All right, so as many of our people struggle with that. I've talked to many people. I'm not sure I can take it from your response, Ike, that you didn't watch it either. So I know many people that said, I'm not watching that, I'm not getting into that, and they didn't. And you know, she's about to speak from Dr. King's daughter perspective of what she tried to urge the people to do. And I thought about this, because I had another show that I was going to do, and several things I wanted to do about Dr. King, because he was coming up a lot, not so much on my feed because of his birthday, but I believe it was because Trump inauguration was going to be on his birthday. So they start showing a lot of stuff about Dr. King, a lot of negative things I began to say about Dr. King. And I was, you said, nope, you ain't watch it. It was a lot of negative things that I seen about Dr. King. And I was just like, I want to speak on this. But then that's when that Israeli kid spit in a young Ethiopian Jewish boy's face. And that kind of stopped me from going there, because I talked about that. And then I went a whole other way. But I was originally going to talk about the disparaging things that we was hearing about Dr. King. So I'll probably talk about that next week. I didn't want to focus on that this week because it is his day. I want his remembrance to be a good one. I don't want to focus on that negativity. So next week I'll probably focus on that negativity, because I know his daughter has to hear these things that people are saying about her father. We're actually going to hear from her later, where she's going to be speaking, and she's going to be talking real proud about her dad and showing her love and respect for her dad and her mom. And I know she does not like the things that she is hearing people say about her father. I know she don't like the things she heard people say about her father. So I'm definitely going to deal with that, but I didn't want to deal with that tonight. But let's finish here what Karen said. Karen's going to read what Dr. Bernice King says.
Tune out rhetoric, ideology, and policies with what she's saying, which is to tune in. So here's what she wrote. I certainly understand the desire to tune out rhetoric, ideology, and policies with which we passionately disagree, which contradict the spirit of the beloved community. She wrote, Dr. Bernice King. However, we must pay attention to what President-elect that thing speaks on that day, even if by transcript and video later. Okay, I might have to do that. I ain't gonna watch it live.
Yeah, well, that ain't
okay.
Okay. I thought she was
All
saying.
right.
Yeah.
She said, activists cannot develop a, quote, strategic love-centered strategy for addressing language and legislation if they are not also strategic in listening.
All right. Now, what we're going to see later that she's saying, and this is something that I've noticed we as a people, especially these new young people, these generations, have a problem with. The problem is this. And it is very, very sad, but this is the problem. And I want to make this clear. If we feel like people don't rock with us, we can't talk to them. We can't have no dealing with them because they don't rock with us. And I'm sitting back like, what are y'all talking about? Do y'all realize that Dr. King taught the people that didn't rock with him, that was racist? He didn't say, well, they racist. I ain't talking to them. I ain't going to ask them for a cup of water. But we sit around, oh, they racist. I ain't talking to them. And I'm sitting there like, y'all sound crazy. Literally sound crazy. But this is what we do. So she said, listen to it so you can figure out a way that you can go to this person and say, this is what we want to have happen. Because she probably sat back and thought about herself and said, you know what? We not doing it the right way. We not going to get nothing accomplished because we waiting for people to agree with us. And when you don't agree with us, we cancel you and don't talk to you and do all this other dumb stuff that ain't going to get us nothing. And we feel we can poke our chests out. Yeah, we done that. And we didn't do anything. Don't you know our ancestors, not even, if you go back to Yisrael, dealing with the Greco-Romans and all of them, they dealt with them people and them people couldn't stand them. They ain't say, oh, they don't like us Israelites, so we not going to talk to them at all. No, we had people that was set up to go talk to them and tell them what we wanted. We ain't say, oh, they don't like us, so we not going to talk to them at all. That sounds stupid. How you going to get anything if you're not talking to the people that got the power to give it to you? But that's what we do. But I'm going to let you hear us say it for herself. I'm going to say if Karen got any more stuff to say.
Yes, this is not the time for ignorance. She is correct. She is correct. Of course, Inauguration Day, January 20th, Washington, in Washington, D.C., on MLK Day. So 2 things we can do. We're going to honor and celebrate Martin Luther King and then watch that crap later
also,
and dissect it.
You just gave me because I've not been sitting right with this idea. A lot of people want Biden to like resign and make Kamala the president just to mess up Trump's merch or whatever. But you just really made me think about something that I don't think anybody brought up. If she do that, she got to be at the inauguration handing this man the like, no, yes. Absolutely not. We're not doing that. I'm not watching this black woman hand this fool the baton. Hell no. So we need to stick. Joe need to do it. That's what we elected him to do. And it's y'all fault, America. Like we not finna go through this. Y'all crazy.
Nah, she don't deserve it. She don't deserve to have to do that.
Nah, I still remember Michelle Obama's face when she had that cake. When he won, she was looking at that camera like, I ain't even do my hair for this. Like I'm just here because I have to be here. This is my job. But if it was up to me, I would have called in sick like the TSA.
Come on.
Yeah, so definitely. Definitely. Oh man. So yeah, so that's what Karen had to say. So now we're going to deal with this thing from MSNBC. And we got a familiar face on MSNBC. I did not know he was on MSNBC for the weekend. And for those of y'all from Maryland, y'all might remember him. Mr. Steele. So you got this familiar face, MSNBC. I'm like, okay. And they actually are going to interview Dr. King's daughter.
A unique split screen in America on Monday. As Donald Trump is inaugurated, we will also be honoring the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Bernice King, the daughter of the late civil rights leader, says Americans need to pay attention to Trump's words during his swearing in, while also celebrating her father's birthday, arguing, quote, "This is not the time for ignorance." Bernice King joins us now. She is the CEO of the Martin Luther King Jr. Center for Nonviolent Social
He said, "Oh boy."
Dr. King, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
You know,
It seemed like it was actually a good interview. I remember, excuse me. I remember Steele. He Steele said he was a cool guy. He said, "Oh boy," but Steele said he was a cool guy, and the interview seemed cool. They didn't attack her. It wasn't no attacks or nothing like that. But I'm gonna let y'all see it for yourself.
Thank you for having me.
in your last, I've been seeing everything you're posting online and whatnot, and the speeches you've been giving, and it made me think about something that your father said in one of the last interviews that he did in 1967. It was actually an NBC interview. He did it at Ebenezer down in Atlanta, and he quoted Frederick Douglass, and as he has many times before, and he said that one thing we knew in the South is that freedom is not given, it's won. And he talked about the fact that that justice is won by not just fighting the battles that you know you can win, but being willing to fight the battles that you know you could even possibly lose. That's where justice really is, and that's where the fight is. And you have really, I think, been encouraging people to sit in that space, to not lean back and check out, but to lean forward and lean in and be vigilant and continue to do the work. Do I have that right?
You have it absolutely right. And part of my greatest encouragement is my mother's words, who said struggle is a never-ending process. Freedom is never really won. You earn it and win it in every generation, which indicates that we have to always remain vigilant, no matter who is in office, from the federal level to the state and the municipal level. We have a responsibility to the freedom struggle. Every generation does. And it's not going to be easy.
Notice what she said. No matter who's in office. No matter who's in office, people. Let's listen to let me let y'all see me. Let me let y'all see me clear. No matter who's in office, you still have to fight for your rights to represent you, to represent your people, to fight for whatever causes that we need. You still gotta do it. You can't say because this person in the office, I'm not going to do nothing. I remember last time Trump was in office, and I guess that's why she's saying this, because last time Trump was in office, and he was trying to prove, exactly, Aki, he was trying to prove that he wasn't racist, and everybody kept saying he was racist. He kept saying, well, hey, you know, what's going on? And he opened the doors for black people to be able to come and talk to him. That was a time many black people could have came to him and said, do this, do that. We need this, we need that. And he probably would have knocked that joint out. But you know what those black people said? I ain't talking to him. He racist. I ain't talking to him. I don't need him. I'll just wait and just do without it. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it's a never-ending battle. It's a never-ending battle. But we do that. And I noticed that as a late, and I said, wow, you handicapping yourself. And I'm kind of glad that this did happen on MLK Day, because that's the first thing I said. Martin Luther King, you think John F. Kennedy loved and cared about black people? Y'all crazy. Wake up. Like, oh my goodness gracious alive. Do you think he was like, oh, I love black people so much? Come on now. They had clips where they showed him how he thought about black people. He was tolerable, but he wasn't running around saying, I love y'all. King had to press him to get him to do stuff. Like, so that's what I'm saying. So we keep painting this picture like it gotta be somebody that love you and with you and all. No, it don't have to be nobody that love you and with you. Hey, I don't know why, how that got into the head of people that's what they was going to do, but that's what people decided to do. So I'm glad that she's talking about that.
It's going to be some very difficult days ahead.
Yes, it is.
His last words out of his mouth, the mountaintop speech. It's going to be very challenging, but I think it's wonderful that this occurs on the King holiday, the inauguration, because it reminds us of King. It points us back to King.
Exactly. And that's what I got from what she was saying. It does point us back. It says, look, this is what he did. There wasn't no people that was loving him. And they just was all on his side. And it was this, that, and the other. No, he had to fight. I don't know what part of that we thinking it didn't happen. For some reason, we thinking these people was on his side and loved them. They wasn't.
Says when we move forward, you all, we got to do it in the spirit of King. And that's why the King Center has as its theme this year, Mission Possible, protecting freedom, justice, and democracy in the spirit of Nonviolence 365, which is Kingian nonviolence, is taught and demonstrated by my father.
Let's talk about what Mission Possible looks like. Here is Vice President Harris talking about how we define a win. Take a listen.
Our definition of the win is a definition that takes us over a period of time. We must be strong, and that whatever the outcome of any particular moment, we can never be defeated. Our spirit can never be defeated. Because when that happens, we won't win.
Dr. King, what do you say to those Americans who do, in fact, feel defeated going into Monday?
Look, I say to all of us, we come from ancestors who faced very dark, difficult, challenging, maybe very evil times, but they overcame. I think that's why the song of the movement was "We Shall Overcome," because they were drawing strength from their ancestors. And they were also looking forward to a mission that they were determined to get to. And so, you know, we have to stay focused on the goal, the mission, not get sidelined by whatever the challenges are. But the greatest part of it is we have to strategize. We've been missing the strategy. We've been missing the spirit of Dr. King. Many people talk about doing the work of Dr. King, but I always ask, are you doing it in the spirit of Dr. King? And the spirit of Dr. King is nonviolence. And nonviolence is not just a posture, it's a mindset. For us, we define it as a love-centered way of thinking, speaking, acting, and engaging that leads to personal, cultural, and societal transformation. So it works on you first. You have to be in the right frame of reference to fight these injustices so that you don't become like the unjust.
You know, I think it's...
So she's speaking good. She's speaking good. Let's hear now. I felt like Steele tried to throw a wrench in there some kind of way. And I was like, what is Steele talking about? Even she could be like, what you talking about? What's this? It's our boy Steele. What's this?
Interesting in listening to you, Ms. King. I'm imagining two views of this. One is a President-elect Kamala Harris speaking to the nation on Dr. King's birthday at her inauguration versus Donald Trump speaking to the nation on Dr. King's birthday. And I have that flashback to the last time Donald Trump spoke in such a way where he laid out this dystopian view of the country. And then I bring into this conversation the words of Joe Biden in his farewell to the nation, in which he talked about planting seeds. Let's take a listen.
Now watch this.
It will take time.
So he played the thing for Kamala. I was like, okay. All right, that didn't really add up anything. This one really gonna be weird. I'm like, what did this guy do with Joe Biden talking about planting seeds and how he tried to lay that out? He had me confused with that. I'm like, what is he talking about? Watch this.
Feel the full impact of all we've done together. But the seeds are planted. And they'll grow and they'll bloom for decades to come.
So, as a nation, we have an opportunity to plant.
He said she's an activist for freedom and justice. He's a politician. Yeah. So that's why I think as they gonna answer this question, she gonna just be looking like, what are you talking about? Watch how she watch this. I don't know what Steele was talking about right here. I'm like, what is happening right here? Watch this.
Plant seeds. We could have planted seeds with Kamala Harris. We could have planted seeds with Donald Trump. We had those choices.
Of all we've done together.
I had to rewind it back a little bit. Seeds are planted
for decades to come.
So, as a nation, we have an opportunity to plant seeds. We could have planted seeds with Kamala Harris. We could have planted seeds with Donald Trump. We had those choices to make. When that moment occurs during this speech on Monday with the president-elect, what seeds do you want to see planted that can grow in that garden, in that space that Dr. King envisioned for us?
Are you speaking from his speech or just period?
That's what I was like. What are you talking about, bro? She like, are you saying seeds from his speech or you mean seeds period? Like, what are you talking about? Hey, dude, they got two different agendas. So she like, what? She like, what are you talking about? Even he know that joke was crazy. Like, what are you talking about right now? Like, she was like, hold on. What are you asking me? Like, what seeds I want planted? Like, what you talking about?
I'm just period because we don't know what his speech is going to be.
Talked about, we sure don't.
You know what I'm saying? So he had to laugh through. He realized, he was like, dang, she got me with that. But she like, hey, we don't know what's about to happen in that speech. We know now. Oh, that speech was on. That was on some crazy stuff. I'm gonna let y'all say it for yourself. That speech was on one. Oh man. Boy, the opposition that was in the room, the ops, they felt everything. He gave them everything today.
Right? No, I understood. But I'm saying we don't know what Trump is going to say necessarily. But I'm just saying this idea of planting seeds. That's really going to be the mission in front of us, regardless of the words of the man, because it does come back to what we do. To your point, what we do. How do we live out that spirit of Dr. King, the nonviolent spirit, but also the activist spirit?
Well, I think all of us have to continue on a daily basis to ask a fundamental question, and that is, what is required of me in this season? And it changes per season depending on what we're faced with. Am I willing to make the necessary sacrifices? And that's really important to understand because they made sacrifices in my father's movement. They were willing to pay the price.
And that's what I'm saying. They made sacrifices. They didn't say, oh, these people don't like me, I ain't gonna talk to them. Oh, these people racist, I'm just not gonna ask them for nothing. I'll just figure out a way to do it on my own before I ask them. They're racist. And no, they say, you know what? No, I'm talking to them. They the ones in charge. They the ones I gotta go to. I'm talking to them. What do you mean I'm not gonna talk to them? No, I'm talking to them. All right, so I definitely feel what she said. Like that generation wasn't. This generation is different. It's like everybody got to be on code and right, and if they not, you gonna be this way or that way. No. Like, oh, they against us, so I ain't. And then if I see you over there talking to them, even though you say you over there talking, just because you talking to them, and I know they racist, you Uncle Tom because you talking to them, you sound crazy. How you think we got any of this stuff we got? Because people was talking to them. All right. It's really ridiculous to me. It really is.
No matter what came, my father said, I'm determined to create this just society.
No matter what.
And we too have to decide whether we want to do whatever it takes, not in a violent way, but in a non-violent way.
What's required in this season is to fear Yahweh and keep his commandments. Amen. Amen. That's always the requirement. That's always the requirement right there, Aki.
And then we have to remember something he charged us with in 1968, right? In that last speech, he said, maintain unity. And so it is important.
You gotta be united.
Come out of our silos in this moment, because things grow because there's some people who are continuing to water those things. That's why we can't sit out. So the seeds that have already been planted for freedom, justice, and democracy, the sacrifices of some people previously, even in this generation, who have planted seeds, have to be watered. Because as my father said, one of the tragedies still of human history is the children of darkness are often more determined than the children of light. And I'm on a mission to prove the opposite, that it's the children of light that are more determined and zealous than the children of darkness. And so we have to continue with that zeal and that determination no matter what.
No matter what. No matter what. So the take that I want us to get, excuse me. The take that I want us to get from this tonight, they don't want us to leave with this tonight is, we as a people gotta focus on Torah, come together and figure out what it is that we need for us. Stuff that we need for us. And be able to ask for it. And not say, oh, this person don't like me, so I'm not going to say nothing to them about anything. When they the ones in power. That is very, very dumb. Very, very dumb. And that's not how things was done biblically. You know, you gotta be able to say, hey, this is what we want, this is what we need, and you gotta be able to vote accordingly as well for what you want and what you need. But you gotta be able to stand on it. Gotta be able to stand on that. So if there's nothing else we got from this show tonight, it should be to not say, I'm not going to talk to this person because they don't like me or don't agree with me. And if anybody else go to talk to this person, even though they talk to the person on my behalf, I'm going to say they Tommen. Like, I never forget when they try to say Ice Cube. I said, Ice Cube Tommen. What are y'all talking about? Ice Cube and them came up with a plan for us. He took it to the last administration. They never did anything with the plan. Told him, get out of here with that. He actually took it to the people that's in here now. They said, we can work with this. We can do some stuff with this. And what did the people say? Because he took it to these people that was in power now, that was in power back then. Oh, he told me. He talking to him. What are y'all talking about? He did the same thing Dr. King and them did. That's they talked to the people that had the power. They say, oh, I'm not going to talk to him. Kennedy and them was not on your side. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be the one to bust your bubble. Sorry to be the one to bust your bubble. Go back and look at Kennedy and all them others, and you'll see that they wasn't the pure people that you believed he was. Sorry to bust your bubble. No, y'all want to have this good belief about all this stuff, but I remember once I saw really looking at it and reading about it, I'm like, Kennedy wasn't this so-called, I'm a help out the black people. He was doing that because Trump, I was supposed to say Trump, because because King was forcing him to. King was forcing his hand. He even told him, man, you forcing my hand to do this. I'm trying to do this for you guys. You keep pressing me. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. His partner really wasn't trying to do nothing at all. The vice president, who ended up doing a lot of stuff at the end. But because his hand was forced, he wasn't trying to do it. So that's why I said we got to get out of this, oh, they showing me they racist, so I ain't going to talk to them. That's the dumbest thing ever. Like, really. And I think if that's one thing we need to learn for right now, because what we going to go through, though, this whole 4 years, everybody said Trump racist. So now everything go down the pipes and down the wire because nobody don't want to talk to him. Because if I talk to him, you're going to say I'm my Uncle Tom. Now, if you talk to him and you do what that preacher did, they get up there and pretend like he was Martin Luther King, then I'm saying you Tommen. If you do what Sewell did and get up there pretending to be Dr. King, then I'm going to say you Tommen. I'm going to say you Tommen. You are Tommen right there. Yes, I'm going to say it. I only want to say Tommen. I'm going to say you Uncle Ruckerson. You the Uncle Ruckus. That's what I'm going to say about you. Because you showing me that, right? But if you are being genuine and you trying to get some stuff across for us, why am I going to look at you in a negative way because you out there talking for us to this man? I remember when they said that about I remember when they was talking to T.I. because at that time, T.I. was saying all this stuff. He had his little show. And they said, well, T.I., you got a lot of ideas and stuff. You gonna go talk to Trump? I ain't talking to Trump. I would ask Trump for a cup of water. I'm saying, like, what in the world? So how you want to get anything done if you ain't even willing to talk to him? We just going to complain that he ain't doing nothing? He ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing nothing. What is you telling him what you want him to do? If you're not telling him what you want him to do, then what you want him to do? Read your mind. Come on now. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and give us our artists for the week from last week. We still got that artist of the week. We'll have a new artist of the week coming in on Wednesday. But Sister Angie representing with her song, Oh Yahweh, giving the Almighty the praise, the glory, and the honor. So I'm going to go ahead and let her rock this out. And then we're going to close out after this.
I'm tired of getting my own way. I need to tell but you know that I don't wait. So you hear it once and I'm singing it slowly. You're all in my mind to make sure that I notice. You don't give up till I learn to say that you've chosen us. Cause all of this pain should have broken us. You're always the same, all you want is trust. Maybe if I give you the time that you deserve, get to learn what I'm worth. And what could be better? Nothing is better than us. Oh, darling. Oh, Yahweh. Somehow this broken heart is steady beating of something like a Jonah.
Yeah, very, very soulful young lady. Love her music. Got her stuff in the description. Please hit her up. Subscribe to her check out our Spotify and all that good stuff. Want to thank each and every one of y'all for making the show a good show tonight. Thank you, brother Next Section, for being in the building as always. And want to thank our other brother who was on it for a minute and seemed to have dipped off, named Al. And just thank everybody for tuning in and watching and all that good stuff. And all of you that's watching right now, the Silence of the Lambs, you know, thank y'all as well. Thank everybody that's watching on the replay. And just appreciate you. Torah. And please tune in for our third and hopefully final part of a trilogy for this question and answer dealing with our brother Dwayne from the Samba Journey channel. He had a show with a lot of interesting questions. If you missed the first two, please watch them. The third one is going to be a good finale as we close up everything. That's going to be on Wednesday. Thursday, for those y'all like that balloon popping stuff, I'm going to have a balloon popping show on rules of engagement. Thursday, we're going to talk about that balloon popping stuff. I really don't like the balloon popping show, and I'm going to let y'all know why. I seen something disturbing that happened on one, and I'm going to bring that to y'all attention. I think our young people and older people as well need to find another way of finding people to date and eventually marry without thinking they can find it on a balloon show. I really, really don't like the balloon shows, and I'm going to show y'all this special balloon show and why I feel as though it's a problem. And of course, this Friday got a special Torah portion Friday. We want to go through the Torah portion, and we're going to have a focal point. And I got a nice video to show y'all as well that's going to highlight certain things. And I just pray that y'all are able to hang out with us on those days. So I'm looking forward to it. And I want to bid you all Layla Tov, good night, and shalom.
Adonai,